Welcome to the Edge Market Update for the close on November 10th, 2023. And we had the November USDA crop report was released this week on Thursday, and it was a slightly bearish report. The estimates from the USDA for the U.S. corn yields were revised higher for the month of November. And a little bit higher than the trade estimated, so that did have a bearish impact on price. They raised ending stocks slightly also as well, so that was slightly bearish. But the main thing that happened, Brazil's CONAB, before the report was released, increased their expectations for this year's South American soybean crop. And on Thursday, when that was released, that did hurt soybean prices before that USDA report was released. But we'll go ahead and go through the charts for this week. On new crop corn, we closed the week at 464, and that's a big thing because we finally closed below what was acting as multi-month support at 468. So we did lose that support level today and close the week under. So not ideal. Really would have preferred closing back above that level to end the week, but just not enough juice and corn news right now to get the buying volume through and pushing price higher. So that is slightly concerning to me here in the shorter term. Ideally, would really like to get back above that 468 level early next week and start challenging these moving averages. We got the 9-day at $4.70. And the 50-day and 20-day moving averages, which are pretty good moving averages to pay attention to, are at 480. So that would be a big spot to recover if we're going to get back up to even challenge the 505 to 510 range, which is a pretty big resistance area all the way back from August. So I did have some decent bearish volume come in the past couple of days after the report was released. Strength indicators did trend back down here to end the week after the report. We're currently in between a weak reading and a neutral reading. Money flows did trend back down as well towards a weaker level. Have a ton of room to move higher here if it wants to, but we just really need some bullish news once in corn to see that happen. Long-term momentum does remain negative. That crossed negatively here in late October, and we've just kind of moved lower since. So from a longer-term perspective in corn, we are negative, but hopefully, again, can get some positive bullish news next week, get back above this 468 level, and start challenging at least these 20 and 50-day moving averages at the 480 level. Moving on to old crop soybeans, beans we just harvested this year, if you have them in storage, we're tracking the January contract. We closed the week at 1347. Actually, we're positive on the day when new crop beans for next year were negative. So obviously, we had some sell signals this week with the report. Did actually trade above trendline resistance on Wednesday, got up all the way up to 1384, but we did close back below. So that 1380 range down to 1375 really did act as pretty good support on this January contract. The bearish news came out after the report that sent us lower, but I was impressed with how nicely soybeans have held the short-term sell-off. Ideally, I was looking for a test of this breakout level from the prior week of 1332 as pretty good support. Below there would be, next week would be this 1325 to 1330 level. Really would like to see that 1330 level hold next week as support if we're going to continue to see beans moving higher here in the short term. Would actually prefer it to bounce. That would be cleaner. Bounce off of this 1330 level and maybe potentially challenge this trend line resistance again, break out above 1370, and perhaps we can test that 1384 and make our way back up to 1420 to make some additional soybean sales. But we did have a ton of volume the past several days. This Thursday we had quite a bit of selling volume. Today was fairly a light volume day, so we'll continue to see what price wants to do after this. We did hold the positive divergence at the close on Friday in strength indicators, so that was a nice sign. And money flows are correcting off of an overbought reading. Hopefully they can bounce here at the neutral level and just head right back up with some room to run with price, but we'll see what happens next week. Long-term momentum of this market is positive. We're actually trading above the neutral line here in positive territory. So longer term, it is currently saying that we are in a positive structure. So again, would really like to see this 1330 level hold next week and continue moving and testing this trend line resistance here. New crop soybeans were a little bit more bearish after the report. We got up and actually tested that 1305 level I mentioned last week, and then we had some more resistance at the 1310 level and got there, but we did sell off to end the week. Did have a couple sell signals on the market gauges, but again, for now, we are below the 9-day moving average, but we have support at the 20 and 50-day moving averages at 1274 and 1275. Also have trend line support here in that same range between 1270 and 1275 next week. So would really like to see those levels hold as support next week to continue to try moving higher in this new crop soybean market. Again, we were extremely overbought early on this week with new crop soybeans. We sent out some sell signals, and we have trended back down almost to a neutral reading already in this market. Money flows were also extremely overbought. That is starting to curl down. Finish the week at a neutral reading, so hopefully we can bounce here next week. And then long-term momentum, we are actually positive above the neutral line here, so hopefully can continue to gradually move higher into the winter and early next spring to continue to maybe make some new crop soybean sales at a good price. And if we know our margins are good, it might be a good time to pull the trigger. So with that, we want to thank you for your business. If you have any questions or need to call on your coverages or to see if you have any revenue claims, we would really like to have those conversations before the month of December gets here and get you guys taken care of. So have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.